Hello viewers, welcome back to our Critics Tech channel. Perhaps the most pertinent question for today: when will the COVID-19 pandemic be end? And today our Critics Tech channel is going to deal with this. After crossing nearly 10 months and more than 10,73,000 deaths in COVID-19 pandemic, people across the world are longing for an end. Worldwide, the present recovery rate is higher than 88%. In India, over 69,79,000 coronavirus cases have been reported so far, with more than 1 lakh deaths and above 59,88,000 have been recovered. So, the recovery rate in India is around 88%, while the case fatality rate is just around 1.5%, including comorbidities. In the given scenario, India has entered into its countrywide unlock phase of 5.0 and the festive seasons are also here. People have a yearning hope for the end of this ongoing crisis of wearing masks, hand sanitizing, and maintaining social distancing. However, the burning question is, when will this COVID-19 pandemic be end? Experts believe that there are two important definitions of this so-called end, and each of them are having a separate timeline. The first endpoint is an epidemiological endpoint when herd immunity is achieved. Such endpoint will occur when the proportion of society will become immune to COVID-19, and that will be sufficient to prevent widespread ongoing transmission. The second endpoint is a transition to a form of normalcy, which will occur when almost all aspects of social and economic life will be normalized without fear of ongoing mortality or long-term health consequences related to COVID-19. This endpoint will be achieved when the mortality rate will no longer be higher than a country's historical average. This is likely to be achieved much earlier than the first endpoint. However, before going into the deep details, I must apologize to my viewers for delay in releasing a new video. Many of you have been asking me the reasons for such delay. As I have told you earlier, presently I am engaged with a new project, and therefore I am burning most of my midnight candles for the same. And I hope my viewers will forgive me for such unintentional delay. Anyway, let's come to the discussion. To achieve the first endpoint, that is an epidemiological endpoint to achieve the herd immunity, many countries are hoping that a vaccine will do the bulk of the work. When this endpoint is reached, the public health emergency interventions will no longer be needed. Regular revaccinations may be needed, perhaps similar to the annual flu vaccination, but the threat of widespread transmission will be gone. The second endpoint, that is a transition to a form of normalcy, could be achieved much faster through rapid, accurate testing, improved therapeutics, and continued strengthening of public health responses. Getting the second endpoint will be gradual, but the transition will enable many familiar scenes to resume, such as air travel, bustling shops, humming factories, full restaurants, and gyms operating at capacity. These two ends are related, but of course not linearly. At the latest, the transition to normal will come when herd immunity is reached. The timeline to achieve the ends will certainly vary by location. The region with strong public health responses can achieve normalcy significantly before the epidemiological end to the pandemic. According to the experts' opinion, there are 4 plausible scenarios for vaccine efficacy and adoption. Out of these 4 probable vaccine scenarios, different combinations of any 2 factors, that is the efficacy of a COVID-19 vaccine and the coverage of vaccination, will drive varying levels of conferred immunity which will be required to reach herd immunity under each scenario. This will explicitly explain whether an effective vaccine against COVID-19 can be expected in the near future to achieve herd immunity. Earlier, a Critics Tech channel exposed more than once the flimsy and unsubstantiated claims about COVID-19 vaccines. I am leaving the links of those videos in this description box for your ready reference. Here, once again, a Critics Tech wishes to emphatically mention that vaccination alone will not achieve herd immunity. The efficacy of vaccine and its coverage are both important. To induce herd immunity, vaccine distribution to a sufficient portion of a population is necessary within a period of as few as 6 months, beside the vaccine's efficacy. That will call for rapid availability of hundreds of millions of dosage, functioning vaccine supply chains, and people's willingness to be vaccinated as soon as it is available. Thus, herd immunity could be reached as soon as the second quarter of 2021 if vaccines are highly effective, and number 2, if vaccines are launched smoothly or if significant cross immunity is discovered in a population. Now let's examine the 4 plausible vaccine scenarios. Please keep a look on the screen. First scenario, let it be optimistic. According to a McKinsey COVID-19 survey, which was conducted jointly with the US Food and Drug Administration, published in July this year, a vaccine could be optimistic if its efficacy is close to that of common childhood vaccinations, means very effective, and the coverage is close to 70%. In such case, the probability of achieving herd immunity through vaccine alone is very high, and the natural immunity level required for herd immunity is just around 10%. The second probable scenario is termed as high coverage. If the efficacy of a vaccine meets the minimum threshold and the coverage is that of childhood vaccination, then it is placed in the category of high coverage. Here, the chances of achieving herd immunity through vaccine alone are less than the previous case, and the natural immunity level required for herd immunity increases from previous 10% to 20%. Number 3 plausible scenario is midpoint. When the efficacy of vaccine is above minimum threshold, but less than the efficacy of common childhood vaccinations, and the coverage is as wide as that of flu vaccine, then it will be placed in the midpoint. Herd immunity achieved through vaccine alone in such scenario is further reduced, and the natural immunity level required for herd immunity further increases to 30%. Now the 4th probable scenario is pessimistic. In this case, even if the efficacy of a vaccine meets minimum threshold, but public hesitance to adopt vaccine exists, as in case of flu vaccines for healthy adults and relatively low coverage ceilings, the vaccine will be in the bracket of pessimistic scenario. In such case, there is the lowest possibility of achieving herd immunity through vaccine alone. Therefore, the natural immunity level required for herd immunity shoots up as high as 45%. These 4 plausible vaccine scenarios could explain that an effective vaccine against COVID-19 for achieving herd immunity is still a long, long way to go. In the background, fears have intensified that political meddling could see a vaccine approved for emergency use without sufficient evidence that it works. Several ongoing coronavirus vaccine trials could announce game-changing results by next month because the US President Donald Trump has said that he wanted a vaccine ahead of his country's presidential election in the coming November. But as anticipation grows, concerns are also growing about whether the vaccine will be able to clear the criteria of safety trials. What they will achieve if they do, and the risk that the approval process will be influenced by politics. Researchers warn that vaccines could stumble on safety trials, be fast-tracked because of politics, or fail to meet public's expectations. In the given scenario, public trust in coronavirus vaccines is already going down. Amid Mr. Trump's rhetoric of Operation Warp Speed program to accelerate COVID-19 vaccine development, the Pew Research Center in Washington, D.C., in its survey found that the acceptance of COVID-19 vaccine by the proportion of US adults had dropped from 72% in May this year to 51% in September. 75% of the US citizens who were surveyed in September thought the United States would approve a vaccine before its safety and effectiveness had been firmly established. And viewers, please remember, these are not usual vaccine skeptics. Even researchers involved in vaccine design and testing have expressed reservations because they also believe that the approval process could be swayed not by just scientific but by political considerations. Distrust on COVID-19 vaccine is not limited to the United States alone. In Europe, closed-door negotiations with companies over vaccine procurement are adding fuel to vaccine hesitancy. Yanis Natsis, a policy manager at the advocacy group European Public Health Alliance in Brussels, has categorically mentioned, "We don't want to give vaccines a bad name. We want to defend confidence in vaccines." Unfortunately, Yanis observed that there is an incredible lack of transparency. Researchers believe that to achieve the goal of vaccine-derived immunity, a vaccine would have to be at least 80% effective. And to reach to herd immunity, more than 60% population should be vaccinated to stop the disease spreading. But both of these requirements fall flat. Neither the vaccine is having, as of now, at least 80% effectivity, nor 60% population is guaranteed for vaccination. So, what is to be done? In the beginning of this video, we said that a transition to a form of normalcy can be achieved when the mortality rate is no longer higher than a country's historical average. In this month, the World Bank has reported India's death rate in the year 2018 was above 7%, whereas the case fatality rate of COVID-19 as of now is just around 1.5%, and this is expected to further go down. So, there is nothing to be worried at present about this so-called pandemic anymore. T. Jacob John, one of India's top virologists and former head of the Indian Council for Medical Researches, that is ICMR's Center for Advanced Research in Virology, has correctly said, the coronavirus is an enemy with just one trick: infect, infect, infect. And that's it. Except for the older population and the people with certain comorbidities, rest of the population must get exposed to the novel coronavirus. Anyway, more than 80% of the infected will go unnoticed. Only 5% may require medical attention and less than 1% may need hospitalization. So, it is better to let the majority of the population get infected than keeping a false faith on the purported vaccine with a questionable efficacy. Mass infection with novel coronavirus SARS-CoV-2 will help to reach herd immunity. The sooner it is done, the better to stop the disease spreading. And once it is done, the pandemic will come to its end. Automatically, a transition to a form of normalcy can be restored. I hope the viewers of a Critics Tech channel would appreciate this submission. With this, I conclude for the day and hope to meet you soon.